Hi everyone, it's Mary. Happy World Card Making Day. So excited to bring you some of my very old and very first stamp sets that I ever purchased. So today's video, there will be probably nothing new in here besides these oxides because these stamp sets are really old. But I feel like if I'm not going to get rid of it, by goodness, I better be using it. So I'm going to be covering this watercolor cardstock with Distress Oxides and using the water splatters to get that effect. And then here are some of the sets I'm using. So I have Halloween, Bite Me, Scary Skeleton, and I can't see what the other one's called, but it's Sentiments for Halloween. And this is from Stampin' Up. So I've had these, two of those three, a very, very long time. Okay, so I'm going to heat set this background and using my Wagner heat tool, and I always like to put that on a piece of wood because I don't like to warp anything below it. And so I'm just getting that nice and heat dried. And then I'm going to take my anti-static powder tool, rub it down because I'm going to do some heat embossing. Right here I'm pulling out this awesome, what is that thing called? It's a spider web. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that out, and then I'm going to use some super fine white embossing detail powder. And that's going to make that pop off the page. So I'm sorry that this is not linkable or anything, but I have a really hard time buying duplicate stamps. When I know I have one in my stash, it's really hard for me to buy a new one. If I'm given it, that's one thing, but to purchase it. So I will link comparable things below, but please know that I do not personally own them. So here I'm going to take that spider and stamp him right in the middle of the web. And look at this Ranger embossing powder. It's black sparkle powder, and it's got all these beautiful colors in it. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to stamp that, and I actually only show you one time, but I do stamp this twice to get a nice puffy spider. Oh wait, I am showing you. There's the second time. Know your videos, Mary. Okay, so here I'm going to stamp out my skeleton. How cute is he? Who can make a skeleton cute? My goodness. So I'm going to take him Versamark ink on some black cardstock, and then again with the white detail embossing powder. I love this embossing powder, hence why I bought like 3 containers of it and poured it into this storage container because I use it all the time for a lot of things. So I'm going to heat set him, and then I'm going to fussy cut him out, but I am going to show you in warp speed. Can you imagine if we can cut this fast? Oh my goodness. Who'd need a die cut machine? All right, so he's cut out. And then we're going to move on to starting to put our card together. I'm going to use a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die, the second from the largest, which I always use pretty much on every project. And I'm going to rub this down with my microfiber cloth because look at how that just cleans it up, gets all that powder off of it, and makes it ready to go. Right here, it's hard to see what I'm doing, but I actually took from the Lawn Fawn Caramel Apple set that I've been using, that little bow tie, and I'm actually going to stamp that on this glitter cardstock and then use the die that came with the Lawn Fawn set and die cut it out. Now, I have a hard time stamping on glitter cardstock with anything if you don't emboss it. I feel like the ink just smears everywhere. So I did emboss it with that sparkly powder, and now he has a little bow tie. So he's having a good time. This is a party. I'm going to take this sentiment from the third set that I showed you in the beginning, and it just says Happy Halloween, and I am going to, no it doesn't, it says Trick or Treat, and I am going to, again, use the white embossing. This is a lot of embossing on this sheet, on this card, but I have to say that's probably one of my most often and common used techniques anyway. So I rarely use a card where I don't emboss something. Emboss all the things. I love it. So I'm going to use some Dollar Tree foam tape, and I'm going to pop that up and start to put my card together. So I'm going to pop up the little skeleton as well. And then I wanted to back this on something like matte, use a matte behind it. And so I pulled out some glitter cardstock that I've had sitting around begging to be used, and it has almost like a greenish tint to it. So I thought that was kind of cool. It looks kind of Halloweenish. And so there's no green in the card, but I still like the way it came out. So I am going to use some Nuvo glue to place that down, and I'm just going to get everything lined up here, and that will do it for the card. Thank you so much for stopping by, for crafting with me, for hanging out, and this is a good reminder that to look through your stash and see what you miss and what you love and what you refuse to get rid of yet might be collecting some dust. So let's yank it out and have some fun. Thanks again. I'll link everything I used below that I could find or anything comparable. And don't forget to hit subscribe, follow me on other forums, and I will see you guys in the next video. And again, happy card making day. Get in that craft room. See you later. Bye-bye.